Just said, I don't know if you appreciate, there are actually guys down in Gloucestershire and in Somerset this afternoon preparing for the cull. A lot of them wanted to be here this afternoon and they can't. They're the back, but when the cull starts, they're going to be the ones that are doing the work. We're here at the moment doing our marches. They're there, out there. As soon as that cull starts, they're going to be there 24/7. They're going to be getting very, very little sleep at night. It's a full, non-stop activity. Last year, we saved no end of lives. Basically, the subs out there stopped the rollout of the cull. It could be in another 10 counties now, and it's not because of what was happening last year. Right, normally we'd have Dominic here, but he's off somewhere else. Now we've got today David Williams, who's actually the chairman of Badgers Trust. Now he has specifically said that he hasn't got a voice like Dominic, so don't expect quite that sort of speech, but he does speak very, very well. Here's David.
Thank you, Nigel. Yes, apologies for Dominic. He had long-standing engagement up in Cheshire, but he wishes you all well and well done, especially the walkers, wherever they are. Let's give another big hand for those walkers from Gloucester. Well done, everybody. The new boys all here today. I've been actually actively involved in opposing badger culling for over 25 years, including the Krebs trial when 12,000 badgers were killed. But never has it been such high profile as it is now. This is due to people just like you, the night walkers and the badger patrols in Gloucester and Somerset, and the badger army marching in towns all over England, and showing support for our campaign to stop this unjust killing by our coalition government. They had the culls last year, pilot culls. Everything that was predicted to go wrong with the culls has gone wrong. And DEFRA are prepared to condone prolonged suffering to badgers for up to 5 minutes for over 5% of them. But even that was not achieved. They don't even know how many exactly took that long to die or longer, or how many died agony in sets, hours or days later. Mr Cameron, Mr Patterson, this is not acceptable. If this was going on without a culling licence, these people would face imprisonment for cruelty. Cage trapping was deployed, almost from the beginning. Although this method was already deemed to be too expensive, they extended the culls, but still they failed miserably. Can you hear me now? If I speak closer to the mic. Mr Cameron, Mr Patterson, this is outrageous that you deem it to be a success. And what effect this has had on cattle TB in those areas, nobody knows. No figures published, that's because they don't want to know. Do they know how many badgers had TB? No. Again, because they don't want to. Mr Ian Patterson has postponed plans to roll out culling across England in order to perfect the method. Yet time and again he has said the trials were successful and we learned a lot. Mr Patterson, what you learned is that it's an impossible task, too ineffective, too inhumane, too expensive, and if it was successful, it would not reduce TB in cattle. You have also learned what experts told you about estimating badger numbers is true. It's extremely difficult, sometimes almost impossible. I eagerly await to hear the numbers proposed to be killed this year and how they arrived at that number. Let's hope they abandon this whole thing and concentrate on cattle measures and badger and cattle vaccination. The test is inaccurate by DEFRA's own admission, yet no attempt to improve the test. And more cases are being found in slaughterhouses, thousands, who've been through a test and failed the test. They use gamma interferon, but only occasionally. That's much more accurate, but they say it's too expensive. If you really wanted to get on top of bovine TB, then this comparatively small expense would not matter. And what about farmers who cheat on the test? And their own cattle, swapping the ear tags, falsifying test results. If we withdrew all compensation paid to farmers with bovine TB, then I am convinced that TB would reduce dramatically. The farmers would make sure they did not buy in cattle without testing, and make sure they kept wildlife out of the barns and feed stores. Farmers are said to be the guardians of the countryside, although there is not a lot of evidence there. But some are good, but they are the minority. They are quickly losing that reputation. Then there's cattle movements, not just buying and selling more than any other country in the whole of Europe. They are the shows they still attend and mix all the cattle together. And just to finish, I want to say, above all, Mr. C and Mr. P, you should have learnt that there is a huge outcry over your unjust actions, and it's growing and growing, and we can assure you that it's not going away, it will just keep growing. We will never give up. Thank you.